Imagine this. Every single hour, on the dot, gravity doesn't just stop, it flips. Instead of pulling you down, it pushes you up with the same brutal strength. 9.8 meters per second squared. For 1 second, the entire planet becomes an upside-down trampoline. You're sitting at your desk, sipping coffee, and suddenly you shoot upward. The mug, the chair, your laptop, they all join the ride. 1 second later, gravity remembers its job and slams everything back down. Every single hour. Now imagine that happening everywhere. Cars, oceans, buildings, the air itself. Everything accelerates skyward together. Then it all crashes back. The atmosphere would bounce like a giant elastic balloon, sending shockwaves racing around the world. The oceans wouldn't escape either. For a moment, the entire sea would lift away from the planet, then collapse in violent, repeating tsunamis. Coastal cities would vanish beneath the waves every hour. You'd learn to live by the rhythm of disaster. It's 2 p.m., time to strap the boats again. Engineers, desperate to survive, would start redesigning everything. Skyscrapers would have anchors bolted deep into the ground. Houses would sit on suction systems. People would wear gravity belts. Heavy metal harnesses keeping them glued down during the flip. Forget fashion. Survival is the new trend. Not everything would be affected. Deep underground, cables, magma, and the Earth's core would barely notice. But the crust? It would suffer horribly. Once an hour, the planet's surface would try to peel itself off like old wallpaper. Earthquakes would become as common as clock chimes. Volcanoes might use each flip as a convenient opportunity to sneeze fire into the sky. Humans would try to adapt, but badly. Anything taller than a tree would eventually collapse. Anything fragile would shatter. Civilization would shrink, flat, heavy, practical. Cities would move underground, where the great cosmic yo-yo can't reach them. The surface world would become a wasteland of tilted ruins and cratered highways. Air travel would end. Satellites would be ripped from orbit. Rockets would either crash back down or vanish into deep space. Birds, however, might adapt. They could time their wing flaps to the reversals, turning each one into a free launch. Humans would probably turn it into a sport too. Up-hour jumping, measuring how high you can fly before slamming back into the dirt. After weeks of this, civilization would crumble. Roads would split apart. Buildings collapse. Oceans churn endlessly. Power grids, pipelines, and cities would fail. Humanity would retreat underground, building massive bunkers and anchored domes, trying to rebuild a life beneath the chaos. Could we survive in such a world? Technically, yes. But we'd become cave dwellers again, terrified of clocks, living by rhythm and ritual. The world above would belong to dust, drifting ruins, and the occasional unlucky bird, forever launched skyward during its final flight. In the end, gravity isn't something you notice, until it decides it's tired of holding you down.